Hello, today I'm going to discuss about our Indian railways, which is actually a lifeline for India. And if we are in our 30s, 40s, 50s, we all know and would have all definitely traveled in the Indian railways at some point of time. And we always love our railways, and which actually were very, very important, is very, very important, and as going to be very, very important, both as in passengers, but very, very more relevant in the freight as in passenger to develop the economy, because we are wanting to now grow from our 3.5 to a 5 or a 10 trillion, and that is not going to happen with all these put together. We need to have roads, we need to have the GST, we need to have better income tax reforms, we need to have the better banks and get all these law tribunal and everything. And the most important would be the Indian railways, right? Let's get into a bit of a history. We became independent in 1947, but about 110 years even previous to our independence, as in 1835, the first railway freight train was started by the British because they wanted to loot India properly, and then it was not very quick to get all the goods, as in the tea, timber, cotton, granite, whatever they wanted to take away quickly. So they built the first track so that they could make it easy. And in 1953, they started the first passenger train in between Bombay and Thane. That was about 25-30 kilometers. That was in 1853. And then so in 1947, when the greater India was divided into India and Pakistan, even though Pakistan got only about 20% of the land and India retained about 80, Pakistan got about 40% of the rail network that was present on the day of the partition. So India got about a 54,000 kilometers of rail line for a start in 1947. And then we got all whatever the locomotives and the bogies, what were all not destroyed in the partition. So we are left with all that. So, and a bit more since why not much has happened and why something started to happen and why a lot has started to happen in 2014. We'll come to that. So basically, if we go back, like always in Indian politics, the minister, or if there is a coalition ministry, the coalition party would be the first one to take railways, because just a political tool to go there, get one railway link sorted to your own town, one railway line, one small, but nobody ever looked at the railway properly in the last 75 years until 2014, when we made some plan until 2021, and then we made a large plan called the National Rail Plan in 21. That's about a 30-year plan, 21 to 2051, to construct about 25,000 more railway track, electrify everything, then bring in. And in this topic, we'll discuss about a few things. That's a bit of a history. And then there is a big 1,24,000 crore project called the Dedicated Freight Corridor, only freight, no passengers in this. That's about a 6,300 kilometers. It's going to be quadrilateral. And then we'll discuss about the new Vande Bharat, what's happening, what's the future, where it is being and then constructed and things, and what are all the metros that have happened, what are all the metro lines that are being planned. And railways are going private. At least we have got already one or two of them already operating under the name Teja. And then I'll tell you a bit about this, the National Railway Plan as well. Right. So history, we have come up to that. We got about 54,000 kilometers as in line in 1947. And until 2014, we managed to build about 10,000 kilometers in about 60 years. So we went from 54 to 64. And then in the last 8 years, we have gone up to 69, 5,000 kilometers in just about 8 years. And the plan is to construct another 25,000 kilometers in the next 30 years, in between 21 and 2051. So we got a proper plan now. And it's not going to be like, give it to someone, that's it, and then they'll just brush it, clean it, but never looked after the railway as in a track or electrify. We absolutely still, as in now, I have 80% of that coaches which are the same style that were running possibly in 1947, right? And then going into a bit more history, until about 1980, nobody actually bothered to look into anything at all. Like we had the same locomotives, same coaches. In 1980, they started to remove all the steam and then made them all electrified. So 2000, all the steam was gone. It is all electrified. Into 1984, the first Calcutta metro started, and then we left it for a while. And then the next metro was in 2002, 2003, again in the Vajpayee's time in Delhi, and then we left it again, and then we started in about 2012-13 when we had the next metro in Bangalore, in 2014 Gurgaon, in 2015 Mumbai, and then Hyderabad and everything. And in 1986, the first computer was introduced into the railways, but it was in 1995 we started to have proper railway computer ticketing. And in 2002, if you all remember that, it was this IRCTC site that opened, and then we could book, cancel, and do everything. So this was all what we have done. We never looked into sort of getting new, up-to-date engines or coaches or whatever. So this is what all was done in about 50-60 years. Then when in 2014, even before 2014, I think Modi knew, like, until the roads, the railways, the GST, the tax system, they are all rationalized, India is never going to get better. So they started to do it. And now the main plan is to do a dedicated freight corridor, and then two of these corridors, like the Delhi Calcutta, the Delhi Mumbai. The Delhi Mumbai is called the West, the Delhi Calcutta is called the East corridor. They are almost ready, 80%. And then there will be two more, like the East West, and then the North South. The corridors will start, and then these are being built at a cost of 1,24,000 crores. And once they are all built, they are, because, I mean, if I have to say one more thing, like now at the moment, the train, the rail, 1 kilometer of building a train rail line costs about 30 crores. And if you have to build some flyovers or whatever, costs about 300 crores. So it's very, very expensive to build a line. So 6,300 kilometers of this dedicated freight corridor costing about 1 crore 24 lakhs, and then it's got a big Prayagraj control room from where it will control the whole of India. And then so we've, as I've told you, we've got the West DFC already running, and the East DFC, as in the Delhi Kolkata, already most of it running, and then we'll have the East West and the North South, which the North South will be the Delhi Chennai route. And then as in freight, the main things that we carry is coal, cement, fertilizer, grains, salt, iron, and steel. And just for a comparison, one truck carries about 10 ton of whatever it is material, but one train carries about 13,000. So one train is equal to about 1,300 trucks. But basically at the moment, 85% of the freight is being carried on roads, and we have got about only 15-20% that is being moved through the trains, because logistically it takes about 6 times more time at the moment, because we are not, for the lines, even though the passengers train don't earn any money or at all make a loss each time, but they are given a priority because passengers have to move, and then it takes about 6 days for a train to go from Delhi to Bombay or whatever it is. So people who are wanting to do business and transport their material are doing it through the road. So once this big corridor is built, and then one train works, and then there are 1,300 of these trucks that are off the roads, just imagine how much, imagine how much the diesel is saved. It is about 90% less cost-wise as well. So how much the business will save on this transport, and then how much the roads will be decongested. And now coming, that's how revenue-wise for the railway, 64% of their money comes from freight, 29% from passengers, 7% from all the catering and everything. And that is going to go huge, and they are all going to be honestly profitable, that big corridor, even though I think from independent, this is the biggest money the government has ever invested anywhere, 1,24,000 crore. So that is going to be a big project. And let's come to whatever we are looking at in the big advertisement, as in the Vande Bharat. The Vande Bharat is the new technology. No more old type of trains or locomotives. That is the new technology that's already there. I think it's already divided into 3 things. The ones we see are called the Vande Bharat sitters, and then we've got the sleeper and the metros coming in as well. And each bit of a Vande Bharat train costs about 120 crores. But if you would have given it to other countries and the manufacturers, as in Alstom or Siemens, they would have cost us about 250 crores each train, each two trains where they can run back and forth. So we are making it about 40% of the cost. And then there are 2 or 3 countries we have already exported to, and there are about 5 or 6 who are already online to wanting to buy from us. I think we did some strategic mistakes. Our first prime minister should have taken a decision of electrifying and making it all as in the broad gauge. We still had meter gauge and then whatever we call the narrow gauge until about the mid 80s, 90s, and we were all confused. Now that is cleared, we've only got broadways all over the place. And then and just to tell you about a bit of the Vande Bharat, they are just like an aeroplane with sound less than 50, 60 decibels. Even if you keep a glass of water, it doesn't shake. So they have now improved a lot of, or most of the train track, which was laid about 100 years back. They have improved most of it. So that's why a combination of the train and the track are making it very, very easy. And then they have improved the online, and there is a new Kavach online tracking and then safety system that the railways has introduced. That is also being brought by about 4 or 5 countries outside. The speeds have increased from an average 30, 40, average of a 30, 40 to about 80, 90, and we are planning to go up to about a 140 kilometers per hour. Slowly they are getting profitable as well. And then also to say, like, we are the fourth or the third largest by length of network, but maybe the first or the second by the total number of employees, which are about 12,000 in all who are employed in the railways for now. And so there is a lot to be done. In conclusion, we'll have to still wait and see how the dedicated freight corridor works, how much train track we are building. And in 24 to 26 or in 10 years by 2030, we want to replace all trains by the new Vande Bharat. And then how many more metros we are planning and how they all pan out. And then we all will have a first-hand experience to see how it is going. And then we may come back to discuss again. Thank you.